sprints out. Looking. Stops. In trouble, and he gets decked at the 30-yard line. Wow. What a hit. And that's Perrion Winfrey. Here's Mertz. In the pocket, and he gets crushed. Wow. Daxton Hill shot out of a cannon.
The reverse into the hands of Presley. Presley, the wide receiver, just got lit up. J.L. Skinner laying the wood.
Welcome back to the Devy IDP grind. I am Daryl. I'm joined by Justice. How's it going, Justice?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. We got a special guest with us tonight, Trevor Williams, linebacker from Sam Houston State. How's it going, Trevor?
Going good. How are you guys?
Doing well,
Doing
man.
real good. So we'll give a little background on you here. Oh, sorry, my sheet moved. A little background on you. They can follow you at Trevor Williams at TRW_XLIV. And they can find you on Instagram at TRW.XLIV. So if you want to follow Trevor, be sure to go check him out there on Twitter and Instagram. You played for A&M Consolidated High School in College Station, Texas, 33 games. 363 tackles, 255 solos, 13 TFLs, 6 sacks, an interception, 3 PBUs, 7 forced fumbles, 5 fumble recoveries. As a junior and senior, you had back-to-back 130-plus tackle seasons, 139 and 140, and averaged 12.7 tackles per game. In 2018, you Texas class 18-5A Defensive Player of the Year. You helped lead the Tigers to not one, but 3 straight playoff appearances. You got to college. You're the 2020-21, that's the COVID year, split season, All-Southland Conference second team, and finished tied for the FCS lead in TFLs with 15. Then last year, you was all-WAC first team. You also won a national championship in the split season and had 33 tackles. And your current Sam Houston State stats are 47 games played, 242 tackles, 127 solos, 27 TFLs, 7 sacks, 1 interception, 8 PBUs, 1 forced fumble, and 3 recoveries. Whew, man, you're active.
Try to do a little something.
You do a whole lot of everything, looks like. So we'll get started right away. Who introduced you to the game of football?
I would honestly have to say my dad. With just me and my brother, just starting out. I want to say we started football. I think it was just regular flag football at like 5 years old. So. My dad, introduced us to the game, and we've been hooked ever since for sure.
Did you always play defense, or I know your brother plays offense? But...
I actually did both. I had a little offense, a little defense. On offense, I did running back, just a little bit, and fullback, stuff like that. But most of the time, though, it was definitely defense. And I've always been a linebacker. It's actually funny. There was 1 year though. Sometime during Pop Warner football, they needed some more penetration on the line, so they put me at D line for a little bit. It's kind of crazy, but no, I've always been mostly a defensive player.
Awesome. Why did you choose Sam Houston State to further your football career?
Actually, with the recruiting process and things like that, I wasn't getting, too many looks in terms of recruiting. There were some Division IIs and Division III schools, trying to get me to come to their school. I kind of, just understood my worth. I wanted to play Division I football. So my head coach, he actually got in contact with the coaches here at Sam, and the coaches, offered me pretty much, a spot on the team, like as a preferred walk-on. So that was pretty much, my only opportunity, and I took it and ran with it. And I was excited, to get here on the team for sure. But that's how I got to Sam.
Awesome. You kind of touched on it a little bit about the recruiting process. What are your likes and dislikes about that?
I would say in terms of my likes for the recruiting, I think it's it's a really good opportunity, for guys, to pursue their goals, pursue their dreams, playing football, at the next level, whether that's Division 1, 2, 3, JUCO, whatever they may be. I think it's just a good opportunity, to get that opportunity, and I think it's also a chance. Some dislikes I may have about it is a lot of times it may be guys that slip through the cracks in terms of recruiting. May not get those opportunities or something like that. But I mean, at the same time, that's kind of part of the game. That's why you have walk-ons and things like that. Kind of just coming out of nowhere. But I guess that would be a dislike if I have to say one.
Right. So I mentioned a minute ago that you won a national championship. How did that feel to be crowned a national champion?
Oh my goodness! Just understand, all the things that the team went through, leading up to that, with COVID and back in the fall, not sure whether we're playing or not, and going into the spring season, before the season even started, we had the snowstorm here, and that was a difficult time, for everybody on the team. And it was crazy, but just having to go through all that, and then actually playing through the season, going through those crazy games and those experiences, man, it made that national championship, that much more special. And I'm so thankful for that opportunity for sure.
That was against South Dakota State, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that game. That was a great game.
Crazy game.
It was exciting. It was as a spectator, it was exciting to watch.
Oh man,
it was very back and forth.
Yeah,
very back and forth.
Luckily,
that running back that they had, like he broke a couple of runs, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a dog for sure. He was a dog.
And luckily that was the COVID season, so y'all moved to the spring, right?
Yeah, that was the great thing about it, so many spectators.
Exactly. The rest of college football's done, so I could sit down and kind of just focus. And I watched you all the way through that playoff run, and y'all were amazing. I had talked to a couple of your teammates, Markel Perry, Zion McCollum, and speaking of Zion, because him and his brother played and won the national championship. What does it feel like, to be able to win that championship with your brother on the same team together, man?
Oh my goodness! That's something you don't get that every day. A lot of people
exactly
who have brothers and things like that. They don't get that chance. To play with them. Through high school and even at college, Division I college at that. So being able to go through all of that and win a national championship with my brother. That's something that I don't take for granted at all, and I'm so thankful for that. And that's an unforgettable experience, and I appreciate it every single day.
That has to be one of the greatest feelings, right? I mean, like you said, a lot of times you don't go to the same college, right? You split off, or maybe there's a little bit of an age gap where you're not at college at the same time. So, when I talked to Zion, he was saying some of the same things, man. He said that was just so precious to be able to share that moment with his brother,
For sure. Yeah. Like I said, it's when you really think about it and just understand, we're all going through the same thing, to be able to, have it in that way, man, that makes it that much more special. So I'm very thankful for, just to have that experience for sure.
I know everybody's tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about it, but it happened, right? COVID. So in what ways has COVID impacted your life?
I would honestly say, it was a tough time for everybody, just in terms of, the actual COVID, people lost family members and loved ones and things like that. And just everybody, had a difficult time, trying to adjust to that and, go through all, just that difficult time. But I would say, honestly, I kind of see it like as an opportunity. It allowed, everything, pretty much slow down, give me, opportunity, to learn a little bit more about myself, make myself better in all aspects. Like I said, whether that was football, just as a person in general. So I think, it just gave me an opportunity, to reflect and look at myself, give me some time, to better myself for sure.
Awesome. So as we know, Sam Houston State made the move from FCS to FBS. We're already kind of into the season. What do you think are the biggest differences in playing games at those two levels, if there is any?
Honestly, well, just looking at it, you might think, I guess, from the outside that, it's a big difference in terms of, the actual players. Well, I mean, obviously, people, at the FBS level, they're a little bit bigger, some a little bit faster, but in terms of just, athletic wise, I honestly don't see too much of a difference. Like I said, playing FBS teams, playing FCS teams, you have to come in, with the same mentality, that you're going to work, you have a goal to win. But like I said, you have to have that mindset regardless of who you're playing. So in terms of differences athletically, I don't see too much. Maybe like there's a size difference for sure. Maybe a little bit, faster players, bigger players, things like that. But in terms of just overall teams, I don't see too much of a difference, though.
I'm a fan of Old Dominion. That's where I went to school, and we moved up from FCF to FBS not too long ago. And what I noticed, probably the biggest difference when we moved up is depth, right? That's probably what I like. Maybe our first team was on the same level as these guys, but then as you got further down the depth chart, it wasn't there. That was probably what I noticed.
Yeah, I would agree with that also. Yeah, now that you mentioned that, just seeing, okay, yeah, your ones and your twos, they can stick with it, but they got threes and fours who are pretty much just as good. So that's that. Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
Awesome. So already into the season, how was it to play Texas A&M in the first game this season?
Oh, that game was crazy. It's even a little bit more special, for me and my brother. Just understand we're from College Station, so
wow.
we've gone to A&M games. Yeah, we know all about A&M. My mom graduated from A&M. My dad's born and raised in College Station, so that was a homecoming for me and my brother. So it was an amazing experience, to be able to play in Kyle Field. That was a crazy game. I honestly think, just to have the team overall, just to be able to experience that and, to play in that type of environment, that was special for sure.
Yeah, so that's another big special moment.
Held your own, I think. I thought you guys played well.
Yeah, very well. So we were talking about how good you all played against Texas A&M. Y'all played a really good game against them.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a little tough, just to not have the game go our way. But I think we did some good things out there. A lot of things to grow on, and to improve on. But I think it was a good challenge for us, and like I said, an amazing opportunity for sure. Especially, moving up to the FBS level, just to kind of gauge and see where we're at, though, for sure.
Awesome. What do you like to do away from the game of football? Any special hobbies you like, or something to just kind of chill out and relax that you like to do? Or
honestly, I guess just away from football, me and my brother, we like to hunt and fish. We go fishing with my dad. We actually kind of live out in the country, so when we hunt, it's literally right in the backyard. So we can get our stuff on, get all our gear, and we're heading right to the backyard. So it's actually pretty cool. But that's something we like to do, outside of football.
What do you like to hunt for?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Sorry.
Me personally, I just do whitetail deer. My dad, he'll do whitetail deer, hogs. I'm kind of a little leery on the hogs. I'm kind of scared of the hogs, but just whitetail deer.
That can be dangerous, right? I mean, they can mess you up pretty good.
Yeah. And fishing, we just bass fish.
Okay. Awesome. Love to bass fish myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. With the NIL now in place, what are your thoughts on that whole situation? And do you have any deals in place?
I think NIL is a very good opportunity for athletes to get their name out there, and also kind of gain some of that back in terms of what they've done in the field and just who they are as a person. I think it's a great opportunity to kind of take college athletics to another level. I think it's a great opportunity. In terms of me personally, I don't have any NIL deals. I actually might need to kind of try to look into that, just to take advantage of this opportunity. But currently, right now, I don't have any.
One thing I've noticed a lot of schools, like recently, like within the last week or two, start doing is selling jerseys from the players. So someone could get like a Trevor Williams jersey or a Markel Perry jersey.
Right.
Has Sam Houston talked about doing anything like that, or?
I haven't seen anything. Not that I know of. If there is something like that, I would like to hop on that pretty quickly. I think that's
pretty cool, right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Because that's something that the school can do for every single player on the team.
Exactly. There you go.
Right, and I know, like Tennessee, they have it's a collective or something. It's a group. And you basically, you can go join this club or be a member of this club. And I don't know off the top of my head, I think it's like $25 a month. And they take that money and they distribute it evenly among the team, right? The players. Does Sam Houston have anything like that in place that you know of? Or is that something maybe they're working on?
Yeah, I think I might have seen something, I guess, maybe in the past week or so. Maybe some NIL fund type organization that I think that they're trying to get going. I haven't really looked into it too much, but I have seen a little bit on Twitter. I think that's something that they're really trying to expand and grow into more for sure.
Well, that's awesome because like I said, I've noticed Tennessee's, and I think they've got. I think it's like 3 tiers, maybe 25, 50, and 100, and depending on what tier you're in, you get more stuff, autographs or. Stuff like that. So, but the proceeds, is going to the players. So I think that's a really good thing, and it's not just, a single player. They take that money and divvy it out. So I like that idea. I just didn't know if y'all had something in place like that or not.
Yeah. I think it's something that they're trying to slowly, I guess, work into that I've seen, recently in the past week or so. But yeah.
Okay. What's the one thing, if somebody asks you, what's the one thing you need to improve about your game the most?
One thing that maybe they would say, and probably myself as well, is a little bit more better with block destruction. Just getting off blocks. I mean, I think I do a decent job of doing that, but like I said, I can always improve on that. Like I said, getting off blocks, making it, hard for those guys, and make sure I'm, being quick to the ball, taking care of what I need to do in terms of getting off the block and getting myself to the ball. So I think block destruction is something that I can definitely work on for sure.
Okay. To follow that up, what do you think the strongest part of your game is?
I would say my ability, to read and react. I think that's something that I do really well. I think I can, decipher plays pretty quickly, and get to the ball pretty fast. But I think, my play recognition and just my ability to, read and react based off what the offense does is definitely a strong suit of mine, I would say.
And this just hit me, and it's not on the sheet. We were talking about differences in levels, right? And I'm curious, you're talking about your ability to read and react. Do you see that? Do you have to see yourself having to do that quicker at the next, in the FBS than you do in FCS, or is it about the same?
I would say it's about the same. I think maybe the thing I can improve on, and I think I'm working on a little bit more, as we go on through this season, is my me watching film. Just being able to see things quicker, beforehand, so that way when I get to the game, things are a lot faster, and I can I can play and not have to worry about, some of the unnecessary things. I can just, quickly read and react and, make some plays.
You want to become muscle memory, so you're not having to think.
Exactly.
It's
Right.
just second nature.
Just go out there and play at that point. Yeah.
Okay. Little off topic here. What's your favorite song of all time?
What's that?
What's your favorite song of all time? Maybe it's something you listen to get you hyped up before a game. Maybe it's just your chill out song that you love to listen to.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's kind of tough. That's kind of tough. My favorite artist is Drake. They would probably be some song by him. I could go on for hours about picking a specific song, but something by Drake, I would say is probably my favorite song. It's too many of them.
Awesome. What is your bucket list concert?
Bucket list concert. Like I said, Drake is my favorite artist, so I think I have to go to a Drake concert sometime soon. Maybe whenever his next tour is or something like that. But I think I gotta see that one for sure.
All right. This is yours, Justice. If you want to ask him your couple that you added.
What is your favorite restaurant around campus?
Favorite restaurant around campus. Honestly, I haven't gone to too many just places here in Huntsville. One place that we recently found out actually by a freshman. It's crazy because I've been here way longer than him. He's already found this spot. It's I want to get the name right, but I think it's Short's Top Burgers, something like that. It's not too far from actually on campus. It's actually at a gas station, but I had those.
Sometimes that's the best food, man.
Yes, sir.
I've had. Oh my gosh, I've had those. I've had those burgers. I think I've not been there, but I've eaten there twice or had that burger twice, and let me tell you, it hit for sure.
No,
it hit. It was pretty good.
Maybe those folks are listening, and we can get you an NIL deal with them.
Man, yeah. Let's do it.
Do you have a hidden talent, or does a teammate have a hidden talent that folks may not be aware of that you'd like to share? Or is anybody a singer or have another kind of musical talent? Or
I would say this was actually pretty crazy. My brother, he kind of mentioned it to the team and the team meeting. During fall camp, we had these team meetings where we kind of introduced the freshmen, and after that we just kind of joke around, just kind of play around with the team and stuff like that. But there was one thing that he mentioned that was me, my brother, and my little sister. She actually goes here to Sam too. She does some intern stuff for football as well. But we were actually when we were little, we had a gospel group. Me, my brother, and my little sister.
Oh wow!
And we would sing all these different churches and things like that. But we had a gospel group. It was called Promise, and my brother kind of mentioned that out to the whole team and played a video in front of everybody. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how. I don't know why he would do this to me, but yeah, he did. But that's something. Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
What's your favorite gospel song?
Oh yeah, good.
I've been trying to get my gospel playlist up a little bit more. Like I said, I've been adding songs just here and there as I go. There's one song I'm trying to remember that I've been listening to actually pretty recently. It's Proverbs 3. That's the name of the song. That song has been stuck in my head, all the time. And when it pops up, I'll listen to it real quick. But I'll probably say, as of right now, that's probably my favorite song.
Do you have a favorite like old hymn or kind
of? Not too much. Like I said, maybe my mom and dad, they may have something like that they like, but me, it's just whatever.
Yeah,
it's whatever.
You should check out. I don't know if you know him, Zach Williams.
Okay. No, I don't.
He's got some pretty good newer, like
right.
what you hear in churches today, more like praise music.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good stuff. You should check it out.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. What would you do career-wise if you didn't play football?
If I wasn't playing football, definitely in terms of a career, it would have to be something business area. My dad, he's an entrepreneur. He owns his own roofing company. So I've seen him, build his business from the ground up, and just seeing how hard he's worked, and how he's built his company up, and how he's continued to do other things in terms of entrepreneurship, and can strive for that financial independence. I think that's something that I've seen through him that I want to do. So probably something in the business area, but probably most likely just being an entrepreneur for sure.
Awesome. Any particular business that you would look to going into, or?
Yeah, I would have to. If I had to choose, I would keep it in the sports area. So maybe like my own sports training facility, something like that. I think that'll be good, especially to have something back in my hometown, College Station, have something in College Station, designated for athletes, especially football, but just all across all sports, just to get the younger generation up to speed and ahead of the game for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. What is one game you would recommend to someone to watch of your play?
What game? I would say, if I had to say one specific game, maybe back in that spring season when we played James Madison. Like I said, that game was just crazy all around, but I think that was one of my best games for sure.
Yeah, that was a very good game.
Being an Old Dominion fan, I'm very familiar with James Madison.
Oh yeah.
They so I don't know how familiar you are with ODU, but we started a program. We didn't have one forever, and when we announced we were starting a program, we were joining the CAA, which is where James Madison was, and their fans talked so much junk. Well, they didn't beat us. We were 2-0 against JMU, and then we moved up. And they just now moved up, but man, their fans do not like ODU, buddy. So I'm actually a litgoing concerned. We play them again this year because now they're in the Sun Belt with us.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be their Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What is one game that you would like to replay and why? And it doesn't have to necessarily be a bad game. It can be a good game.
Okay. One game to replay. I would say this past season, after that national championship season, like I said, we were on the run or on a roll. We were 21 straight wins. And so that last game when we played Montana State, that's just a game I would like to have back. I was just kind of disappointed, just how that season ended up, playing out. So if we had another chance, to play that game, I would definitely say that one, and try to repeat for that second national championship though.
Yeah, and you guys were the favorites. I mean, it really looked like y'all were in line to repeat, right? And that's just so hard to do. I don't care how good you are, just to win that many games and just repeat. That's a tall task in for any team.
Okay.
Do you play fantasy football?
I do not. The last time I did it was probably freshman or sophomore year of high school. I wish I did it this year because my brother's doing it. I think him and the rest of the receivers, they have something going on, and I'm kind of missing out on it right now. But I don't do it right. No, I don't do fantasy football.
Was it a statistics class or a math class that made you do it in high school?
It was a business class. I can't remember. Maybe not entrepreneurship, but it might have been entrepreneurship. I can't remember exactly, but it was some type of business class that we had in high school that we were doing it for.
Yeah, my daughter's a junior in high school, and she came home the other day. Well, I guess the first week, and her statistics class, they made them draft teams, and they're making them actually play it out. And so she came to me for help. He's 2-0.
Probably.
So.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I would have. I wish I would have did it. I'm kind of missing out on it right now. It's pretty fun.
If you ever want to play, let us know, man.
When you're
we
winning.
we can get you in somewhere.
Really? Yeah, I might need to do that for sure.
we play NFL and college fantasy football. So
really, okay.
Yeah,
yeah, man. We're crazy. So
yeah, we're a little crazy. We are.
Y'all are sick.
What NFL linebacker do you pattern your game after?
I would say a combination of players. I would say for sure Devin White. I guess now it's Shaq Leonard, Darius Leonard, Shaq Leonard, and then I would probably say Luke Kuechly. I guess maybe the reason why I say all of those, I guess Luke Kuechly in terms of, just the mental aspect of the game, he sees stuff way before it even happens, and he's able to play so fast when he gets on the field. So I would say in that area, Luke Kuechly for sure, and Shaq Leonard it is now. Just his ability, to create takeaways and punch at the ball, drop in zone coverage correctly, and pick off balls, that's he is a dog for sure. And Devin White, man, just his speed that he has, his ability, to track the football, to get in the backfield quickly. I think that a combination of that is what I really try to emulate my game after.
Those are three great ones to
man.
Watch, yeah.
Yeah,
man,
they sure are.
Those are some dogs, man.
And hopefully Leonard can get healthy and stay healthy. That seems to have been his issue lately. But when he's on the field, man, he's awesome.
He is something else.
Yep, and White's been he's off to a hot start this year. He has been everywhere through the first two games.
I love watching him play. I literally am glued to him every time he's on the field.
Awesome. What's your favorite defensive play call and why?
Favorite defensive play call. I like dropping in zone coverage, and I like blitzing. But I guess one specific thing is, I like being more of like a quarterback spy player. Just kind of, I think it kind of gives me freedom, to roam around and move around, and like I said, and also be able to tailor to my strength, which is read and react. But it kind of gives me a little bit of freedom, just to move around, and when I had the opportunity, to hit it and go, I can do that, make plays and get home and get to the quarterback.
Right.
Speaking of quarterback spy, so when you guys played Incarnate Word, were you the spy on Cam Ward, or?
I'm trying to remember exactly what we were doing in terms of defense. I remember I was dropping in zone coverage a lot.
Because they passed a lot. I don't remember him running a lot, but
not too much. I think there was maybe a few times where I was on some blitzes, off the edge. But in terms of just quarterback spy, I don't think too much. He is a player though. He is a very good quarterback.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, and now you see him play at Washington State, right? So
yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to see how he develops throughout the year. I think people had unrealistic expectations for him coming in, right? I think the comparison is people want to compare, him and his coach coming to Washington State the same way Kitley and Bailey Zapp went from Houston Baptist to Western Kentucky, right? And how Bailey Zapp had a phenomenal year. Yep. That's I think people had those expectations, which aren't really realistic.
Like I said,
I'm playing well.
Yeah, I've seen, I guess, just some of the highlights from, I guess, just the first few games. He looks like he's doing pretty good. I think I guess when he gets more comfortable, as he's playing those different games, I think he'll develop pretty well there for sure.
Cool. What opposing player was the toughest for you to cover, and why?
Toughest player. It's kind of hard to say. Like I said, I'll go back to this all the time. Just that spring season, playing those three, alpha teams in terms of North Dakota State, James Madison, South Dakota State, all those teams, man, they are very well coached. They have some, outstanding players, just from skilled players to linemen, all of that. I guess if I had to say one player, like you mentioned earlier, the running back from South Dakota State, he runs hard. Yeah, he runs very hard, and
I can't think of his name, but yes.
Yeah, I want to say
because he's still there, I think, right? He was like
I think so.
I want to say he was like a freshman or something.
Yeah. He was. Yeah, he was running the ball pretty hard. Even the running back for James Madison, he was running the ball hard too. Both of those guys, they have some motors on them, and there was some definitely competition there for sure.
You guys definitely ran through the gauntlet, like you said, to get that championship. So
yeah,
it was well deserved.
Well deserved. Yeah.
It was, like I said, with COVID hitting and y'all splitting into the spring, like Justice said, I loved it because I could sit down and watch that division on its own, right? And
right.
Man,
to me, that's the one thing, like being a fan, that sucks, is because if I go to a game, I miss all the games that day, right?
Everything.
Right. Yeah. And I just remember sitting down and watching that. That was such a tough schedule. I mean, playoffs are supposed to be tough because you got the best of the best. But, man, I remember looking when that bracket come out, and I was like, man, that's good. That's a tough road to hoe, and y'all just each week just kept knocking them out of the park. I was like, man, this team is really good. That's why I was kind of surprised that y'all didn't repeat, because I really thought y'all were good enough to run it back again. So,
yeah, I think just with that, going through all those teams, I think it kind of more so solidifies, I guess, that national championship. Playing those top teans,
no one can question it.
Yeah, despite it being, I guess, a narrowed down bracket, just with the 16 teams or whatever it was, we were still playing those top teams, back to back weeks. So I think it more so solidified that national championship, despite it being a quote unquote, COVID year or something like that. But for sure, yeah, that was a tough road.
Oh yeah,
Isaiah Davis.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Isaiah Davis. Yeah. If you could talk to any three people in the world, dead or alive, who would they be?
I would probably say, they may be all football people, but probably Tom Brady, Ray Lewis, and I'll have to go back to Luke Kuechly. Tom Brady, just because that man's a GOAT right there. Just to hear from him and just kind of see his experiences and just kind of take something that I can put into my life based on what he does. Ray Lewis, he was an amazing linebacker. Somebody who I look up to for sure in terms of linebacker play, and just the way he leads his team, the way he motivates his guys. I think he was something special for sure. And Luke Kuechly, obviously, again, just to hear how he sees things, how he watches film, how he deciphers and analyzes plays as he watches films, to create an advantage for him. So all three of those guys, I think I would say those for sure.
And Tom Brady's just wired so differently, is he not? I mean, with his competitiveness and the way he prepares, and then it's his ability to make everybody around him better. Right? He raises their game. I don't know
Absolutely. And obviously his teammates love him, right? Mike Evans got in a fight for him.
Oh my God.
Exactly. and you see players leaving other teams to come join him, because they know they have a legit chance to win a championship with him. And
exactly.
Yeah, and I just don't know that I've ever seen anybody that competitive.
Right.
And
I mean, you got to respect him. Like,
have to.
Whether you like him or not, man, he is.
Either way.
You got to respect him.
He is one of a kind for sure. if you had to tell an aspiring high school player what was the hardest part of playing college football is, what would it be and why? And it doesn't necessarily have to be on the field. It could be, could be something else.
Yeah. I guess I'll kind of just bring it back just to, what I've been talking about earlier, just overall, just, the mental aspect, just of, being a student athlete. There's a lot of, a lot of expectations, a lot of requirements that you have to do, whether that's, on the field or off the field, in the classroom, things like that. But the mental aspect, maybe in terms of football specifically, just to knowing your assignments and, making sure, you know what you have in terms of responsibilities, whether that's plays and just execution and things like that. So, getting ahead of the game in terms of knowing what you're supposed to do. So that way, when you're on the field, you can play fast. There's no worry or confusion, on what you got. You can play like you know how to play and be the player that you can be. And even off the field, like I said, just, making sure, you're taking care of your work, you're getting ahead and at times when you can, and just making sure you're taking advantage of, all the time that you have, but making sure you kind of, balance all of that out, it's pretty tough. So, just making sure you also, ask questions, to people, who are there around, for help and, just to kind of ease some things up, so it's not so hard and you don't feel like, it's all on you all at the same time. So definitely the mental aspect, for sure, just overall, whether that's on or off the field.
Right. And when we do these interviews, we ask pretty much the same questions, especially this one. And a lot of them say kind of the same thing you said. In high school, you're the best player on the field, right?
That's it. Yep.
Now you go to college and everybody's the best player on the field. Now I'm saying, So I'll always intrigued to hear that answer. And it seems like everybody has the same answer. They're coming up with, you got to mentally prepare better, watch more film,
Have to. Yeah. I think, like you just said, everybody, on that college team, they were all the best players on their team. So I think, the mental aspect, I think me personally, I think that's what really, separates, the players who are really trying to be successful and really trying to, do something in terms of on the field. But, just setting yourself apart, from everybody, may, take time, in your day, to watch the extra film, to go over your playbook, to make sure you know everything. So that way, you can be a step ahead and you're out there on the field, you're making plays, and while some people don't know what they're doing. So that's an area that you can really take advantage of if you do it correctly.
Right. So now I got to know, who's better, you or your brother? Who's the better player?
Oh man, it's pretty crazy because like, it'll be like, my little cousins and their friends or something like that. They'll come up to us and they'll ask, who's better, you or your brother? I said, and me and my brother will say, we play two different positions. You can't really compare that. I'm a linebacker, he's a receiver, so it's kind of tough. He would say him, I would say me. I think that would be a constant debate, a constant fight. But that's kind of tough. But if I just had to say, I have to say myself.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. And you were talking about your little cousins and stuff. Doesn't that make you flash back to when you and your brother was that age and y'all were competitive against each other? And look at you now, all the way through high school into college,
crazy,
back to the national championship. That's kind of what makes the whole thing so sweet, right? The journey.
The journey for sure. And taking, going back from, when we were little, it's always, me and my brother Tony, we always had to do more, always had to work hard just because of the circumstance that we were in. Me and him, but me especially, just being a little bit undersized, especially as a linebacker. I always had to do more. Playing Pop Warner, I was always playing up, so I was playing, with older guys. So I had to, take my game to another level, and I think that kind of set me and him up, for now, and with that national championship, being able to, compete, at the highest level, and do it, at a high level as well. So I think that set us up pretty good.
All right. Hey, and you touched on something. You said being undersized. It sounds like that was a motivator, a driver for you, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, I hold that, with my heart every day. I mean, it's me, so I have no choice.
Yeah.
But I definitely use that, as motivation, every single day, whether that's in games, practice, weight room, whatever it may be. But I always, have that in the back of my head, and make sure I go to work every day.
Well,
Awesome.
they can't measure the size of your heart, so
Exactly.
and that matters a lot in football.
That's right. Yeah, that's right for sure.
I mean,
yeah,
I coached youth for 9 years, my sons, right? So even at that level, there's just
even still,
there's players out there that they get it, right? They get it, and they will give you everything they've got, right? Because they love the game, and they will just leave everything out there. And then there's
run through a wall for you.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
then there's some you're like, man, if you could take his effort and stick it in this kid's body, he would, you would have the ultimate athlete, right? The ultimate player.
Ultimate.
But yeah, I agree with Justice. You cannot teach want to, heart,
effort.
Can't do it.
effort. And I'll take, I used to tell my kids, you give me all you got, and I don't care what the result is. Give me all you got, and I will take a team like that every day of the week.
Absolutely.
Our DC, our defensive coordinator, he preaches that to us every day. But our core values, as a defense, is to swarm and to compete. Swarm is literally relentless effort for 4 to 6 seconds from point A to point B, and compete is simply being the best you can be. It doesn't have to do anything, with winning and losing and anything like that, but it's simply be the best you can be. And swarm is literally just your effort.
And those are all things that you can control, right? I mean,
that's it.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, we got one more question for you before we let you go. If you had to give any pointers, what would they be? It could be anything. Transitioning from high school to college, or just
I would always say, you hear it all the time, just treat others how you want to be treated. But I think it's even more when you get to the college, I guess, level or whatever. But just treating everybody with respect and with dignity. I think that goes a long way, and that can carry you for way after you get done with college. But I think treating people the right way, and doing things, going about life the right way, being polite to others, being respectful, and like I said, just being thoughtful of others. I think that's going to take you a long way. So that's something I would say, just for anybody, just to make sure they do, and make sure they strive to work for.
Right. One thing that I've heard a lot of players say is it's not necessarily the football side, right? Because football's football pretty much, right?
Right.
It's studying, taking that to the field, practicing, and getting better, right? But a lot of players said it's the biggest adjustment was more the off field, right? Because you're not living at home no more. You're out in a new place on your own. You're figuring things out for the first. Where do I wash my clothes? Or who's going to fix me dinner and all that? It sounds silly, but
that's a big adjustment, things. Right? I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For a lot of people, that's the first time out of the house.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's definitely at sometimes a wake up call. Trying to really you pretty much on your own. You're just figuring it out. As you go, and I think it's a critical time. Just being at this age. It's a critical time. That's gonna not necessarily make or break you, but really show you like. I guess how the real world is going to work, and it's going to prepare you for the real world. When you're done with college, so
yeah. Well, that's all we have for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate.
Well, I know you're busy this time of year because football's going. We usually try to do these in the off season, but. We thank you so much. You don't know how much this means to us to sit down and do this with you. So we'll push your name and we'll try to get you out there. And if people don't watch you, we'll go beat them over the head if we have to and say, hey, watch Trevor play football.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you for having me. Like I said, this is an amazing opportunity. I'm glad to be here. Glad to see here to talk with you guys. Just to kind of tell you guys a little bit about me and who I am.
That's awesome. I love hearing the stories. They're a lot of times y'all say the same things, but it's the things that are so different. Your background or how you got started or your hobbies or getting to know the player just makes it so much better to see where they come from and how they've gotten to the point they've gotten to. So
exactly.
But yeah, thank you again. We can't thank you enough for joining us.
We do.
We will get this out to you. We'll do a podcast. We do a YouTube version so they can watch. Justice will clean all this up so there's no hitches. You're all good there.
All right.
And then we'll do a written version too. So for those that don't like to listen or read, watch, they can read. So but yeah.
Got you.
Be sure to tell any of your teammates that want to do an interview. We're open anytime. Just let us know. We'll work around your schedules and all that good stuff. And if you're listening, go follow Trevor on Twitter at TRW_XLIV. And if you're not on Twitter and you want to go to Instagram, follow him at TRW.XLIV. Go follow him. Follow Sam Houston State this year. Check out all the good things they're doing. Go Bearcats. Yes, absolutely.
Eat them up, cats.
Eat them up, cats.
Is that the saying, eat them up, cats?
Eat them up, cats. That's it.
There you go. Yeah, we'll have to remember that for sure. Yeah. Good luck to you on the season. I hope it ends in another championship for you.
Well, sadly, we're in a transition period, so we're not eligible for playoffs, nothing like that. But we'll make sure we finish this season off the right way for sure.
Awesome.
So I know, like when ODU went through that, we were still eligible for the FCS playoffs, but our conference wouldn't let us be a conference champion. Is that the same kind of deal with you guys, or?
How they're doing it is, I guess since we're in the WAC conference, we're not eligible for the WAC championship, and we're not eligible, to make the playoffs and
be like
win a national championship.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's pretty much just a regular season, and that's it. And even next year, going to
you got to sit out like 2 years before you go to a bowl game. Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like I said, we're in that transition period right now. It's a
shame when conferences do that, right? Because that's their own choosing, right? There's no rule that says they have to do that, and just to me, it's just a bunch of old guys being spiteful. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I don't know why you would do that because
they're spiteful,
like Trevor.
Man. That's.
Well, I get it, but I mean, why would you not want these young men to have an opportunity?
Well, exactly. That's what it should be.
Right?
That's what it should be about. But it's not, man. They're
well,
for lack of a better word, they're spiteful.
Unfortunately, we know what drives college football. So.
So like I said, it's part of it. I think, just with the decision that were made, like I said, it's for the future, of Sam Houston. And like I said, I think these past few teams and even the team now, we're gonna, we're the ones, who are pretty much, setting the legacy, even the past teams way before, and of what Sam Houston can end up being. So I think it's, like I said, it's a tough time, but like I said, I think we're setting Sam up, to be something special, for years to come.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Again, go follow Trevor, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for listening to us.